Welcome back to Billionaire Discipleship, where building wealth, street wisdom, and serving Christ collides, but it doesn't divide. In today's episode, we're going to talk about faith, purpose, and adversity. And man, I love a faith story. I really do. Truth be told to you, I done read and heard so many different faith stories, and just hearing some of those stories, man, I'm trying to tell you. That really changed my life. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. But it was it was the point of the Bible that really hit me when I heard it from different perspectives. You get what I'm saying? Like don't get me wrong, like it's so many different Bible stories that go into faith and adversity and even purpose, but the story that we're gonna talk about today, my boy Joseph, man, I'm trying to tell you. And like the thing is, what I love about the Bible is like people don't realize like if you read in between the lines and you put yourself in that character's perspective, it it completely changes your mindset about everything. You get what I'm saying? So like we're gonna talk about the key points of Joseph's story today. But I got this quote that I created. You have to have faith for your purpose throughout the adversity. Or another way to look at it is when you find your purpose, you will face adversity, but let your faith guide you. So, like, the reason why that quote really hits is because, like, you're going to go through things in your life and you're going to go through adversity and you're going to go through trauma and baggage that comes with your gift. You get what I'm saying? Or your purpose. So, like, there's so many different people in the Bible where, like, you got to look at it like, you got to you gotta just stick with it. You stick with it, you clearly see the end the certain chapters of the Bibles and certain characters and stories. You get what I'm saying? Um, Definitely Joseph. I love Joseph's story because I can resonate with him because he was a young dude. He had a dream. Um, Told his dream. We gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. I got this quote from it's called Second Samuel. It's not the Bible, Second Samuel. It's a I forgot what the author's name was, but he pretty much breaks down each verse in each chapter of Second Samuel. I didn't finish it, but it's definitely I'm definitely gonna finish reading it sometime. It was just an extra book that I had just picked up. But this quote really resonated with me. Yahweh's promises are certain in spite of intense opposition. His promises are certain in spite of chronological distance. And that quote, he was pretty much going into like he was going into I want to say he was going into David's kingdom and like how God anointed or Samuel anointed David, but like it took him like I want to say it was like 15 years that he had to go through of trauma, trying to get killed, people running for his life, Saul, like all of that, having favor, did not having favor. You know what I'm saying? So like the ups and downs of 15, almost 2 decades, really you'll see, but the promise of God ended up being the end of the, like you get what I'm saying. So like that's why it hits so hard because it's like man, man, man. And I got this one quote from Charles Spurgeon. Um, and then we're gonna go into pretty much all of Joseph's story. But such a faith is one who attempts great things for God and expect great things from God. Only risk produce character. So like you gotta take a risk. Like no one in the Bible or no business story, no no leader, none of the people. They did not take it. You get what I'm saying? Like they had to take a risk at some point in their career. Yeah, some of them probably started off with a better cushion or a better advantage point, but at the end of the day, they still had to take a risk. You know what I'm saying? Down to Under Armour, Nike, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Craig Rochelle, Mike Todd, like who else? Who else, man? PD, Myron, like you get what I'm saying? Like all of these people, they all had to take a risk at some point in their life or some point in their faith journey. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying all of them had faith, but I'm just saying at some point in their journey. So like that, and like throughout those risky moments is really when they're really gonna produce the character that's going when they get to that level that's gonna like give off the fruit. You get what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and dive into to Joseph's story. So the reason why I really love Joseph's story, because I mean, I'm gonna tell it kind of in the street perspective. Like his homies kind of, well, not his homies, his brothers betrayed him, threw him in a pit, sold him as a slave. Like right there's a story. You get what I'm saying? So like, let's break that part down real quick, cause like you gotta think about it. Imagine what Joseph was thinking in the pit. And I love how I heard Myron talk about a few weeks, I want to say about a month ago. He was like, uh, and this is just off the top of the dome. He was like, what did he say? What did he say? Dang, I have it in my phone, but my phone is recording. So, he was pretty much saying that Joseph never complained about where he was throughout his journey. And man, when I heard that jump hit my heart, bro. That jump resonated with my soul because it's like if in the Bible there's no evidence in the text found that Joseph actually was like, man, what are you doing, God? Like even in the pit, even in jail, like all he could do for God was thank God. You get what I'm saying? So like, man, man, that man, and we gonna get it later on. But so he ends up getting sold to a slave. I mean, as a slave, and he ends up working. He ends up actually getting favor as a slave and working in the slave master's home. So it's like the fact that the fact that he was in that situation but still found favor, man. And that's not the first time. You know what I'm saying? So like from you telling your dream about, to your brothers, and then what's it called? Them being so jealous about you or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So jealous, and they try to get rid of you. Like, come on, bro. Like that's some cold stuff right there. Like that's some cold stuff. And I know he was probably battling some mentality issues and trusting issues and all that. So like to go through all of that and then still have favor while working, he was probably like, man, I'm gonna just keep having my faith in God, keep believing in this dream. He kept believing. He kept working. You get what I'm saying? It's not like he was moping around, being lazy, this and that. So like he was working, you know what I'm saying? So he was working on his dream. He was working, learning, cultivating his craft. And then um the slave master, his wife, that's a whole different story right there. But his wife tried pretty much get with him. You know what I'm saying? So like knowing Joseph, he was like, bro, I don't even want that. Like you got the juice. You know what I'm saying? So like she she pretty much everybody was out of the house. He was in the house, I guess, doing whatever he had to do in the house. She was like, "Come here." He was like, "Nah." She was she s- she screamed. He ran. She grabbed his coat and all of that. So like he gone. He on the run and he ain't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He already know. He already know the situation about get jammed up. So like you gotta think about it. He That's crazy. Like you get what I'm saying? Like so he ends up getting locked up for something he didn't even do. And it was fire because it's like, man, like you gotta think about it, like his mentality in that moment. Like for one, being sold as a slave, but two, being thrown in prison like young. Cuz had it hard, bro. Like Cuz was struggling. Life was life and like no cap. But that's the whole point of it. Like he still stuck with it. Like every day he showed up. Like you know what I'm saying? So like when you show up every day, God gonna see that. I'm trying to tell you. And like no matter in the situation that it looks at the moment or on the outside, be more focused on the inside because it's like if you continue to learn, you continue to cultivate your craft, you continue to do this, you continue to work, build, create a relationship with God, then it's gonna pay out. It's gonna pay out. Now it might take years, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years. You know what I'm saying? But it's still gonna work out. I'm trying to tell you. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. But he was locked in a cell, and uh, two other cellmates he was going. He was pretty much chatting with one day. They had some dreams, and they couldn't shake about what their dreams was about. And they pretty much told him his dream because Joseph was like, "Nah, I can interpret that for you." So they was like, "All right, bet." So my dream is about this and that. I forgot what it was. I think of like a crow on one dude's basket. I can't remember exactly what the details of the dream was. So he pretty much summed up the dream. He was like, "All right, there was a baker and a cupbearer. Yeah, a baker and a cupbearer. The baker, he was like, bruh, keep it a buck with you. You about to die. Like you ain't gonna make it." And then the cupbearer was like, yeah, he told him, he was like, yeah, you got the juice. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do the thing. But when you get out, remember me. So like you would think like, yeah, bro, you thinking Joseph in his head like, yeah, cuz about to put me on, bro. Cuz work for Pharaoh. He got his ear, bro. Next thing you know, the situation came true. Dude, cupbearer got out. Baker died, and cupbearer got out. He was like, he totally forgot about Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Like he got out and just acted brand new. Now it doesn't typically say that he did it on purpose, but I don't. Come on, bro. Like, cuz had to think about him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta read in between the lines. Like the drama and the intensity of that situation. You know what I'm saying? So so Joseph probably thinking like, dang, bruh, cuz real I forgot about me. Like that's crazy. Like he, he over here kicking a stone in jail. Like man, hands in his pocket. Probably sick, bruh. Sick, bruh. I couldn't even imagine what cuz was thinking at that moment. But like he still had faith. You know what I'm saying? Like that's deep right there. That's deep right there. Um, but yeah, so the thing, who did I get this quote from? I forgot. I forgot. I think it might have been either Darius Daniel or Myron Golden. It was one of the two. But um, it was so fire because throughout that whole time, Joseph was sharpening his skill. You get what I'm saying? And you think he could just randomly interpret a dream without building that skill. You get what I'm saying? So like he was a dreamer himself, and to build the ability and the wisdom and the knowledge and the godly favor to cultivate that craft. You get what I'm saying? Like he had to put in the time. Like that didn't just come overnight. You know what I'm saying? That had to go through years and practices and not rituals, but like spiritual practices and everything like that. And like that constant relationship with God that he had to build on that gift. Not and that's just one of the many gifts that he had. The reason why I really love Joseph, because it's like we gonna get later. We gonna get into it later. We're gonna get into it later. But this quote right here: mastering a skill set can speed up time unlike anything before. And it's like that's why I go so hard in my books, like reading 6, 7 books at once, reading 20, 30, 40, trying to at least touch 50 to 100 books in a year. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I forgot who said that. It was PD's business coach. He didn't give a name, but he did say this quote, and it really hit. Um, what Michael Jordan and LeBron James did with a ball, I want to do with a book. And it's like people don't realize like I graduated high school with like a 1.6, 1.7, 1 point something GPA. Almost failed for real, if I'm being completely honest with you. But it was to come from that to reading 6, 7 books at once, like not even including my Bible. You know what I'm saying? Listening to podcasts, listening to sermons multiple times, Bible studies, business stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? Listening to all of that is the reason why I continue to go hard. Like trying to touch $100 billion, that's not gonna come easy. That's gonna take faith, and it's also gonna take work. So like that's why I love to read, and that's why I'm pushing out this podcast because it's like I'm trying to get people to understand that reading really is there. Like I done learned so many business stories, so many faith stories, so much that comes into reading a book that I never really understood at first. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, yeah, we have way more to go into, but that's why I continue to build and cultivate this craft and still have faith and believe in my purpose. You get what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so let's get back to Joseph's story. So Joseph's still in jail. Cupbearer got out. Pharaoh ended up having a disturbing dream, and he's like he starts summoning people like, hey, look, bro, tell me what my dream means. First, tell me what my dream is. I want to say that's what he said. They couldn't figure it out. All right. Or I think he told him. I'm not sure. It was one of the two. It was one of the two. But so Joseph, so the cupbearer was like, oh yeah, I got this homie locked in a cell. Uh, he ended up telling me about my dream when I was locked up, and ended up getting me back in my position. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up pretty much telling Pharaoh about him. He was like, all right, bring him back. Cuz got him out, I guess cleaned him up and everything. He wasn't about to go up looking all rough and stuff. Ooh, almost right there. But so told him what the dream was, told her what the dream meant. Pharaoh was like, "Dang, bruh, cuz got wisdom, bruh." Again, in those times of of transition and faith, Joseph ended up still having favor. Like even in the cell, he still had favor. Even in the slave house, he still had favor. Even in his father's house, he still had favor. Even in God's whole story for him, he still had favor. And like that's what I'm saying. Like continue to show up, continue to to read your word, continue to build these practices, to cultivate that relationship with God. You get what I'm saying? So he ended up making him pretty much number two, running all of the financial stuff in Egypt. And this is the real reason why I really love Joseph, because he ended up pretty much predicting the I was I personally would say it's the first. It's not the first on paper, but first boom and bust cycle. 7 years of boom, 7 years of bust. Which is 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. And he was like, all right, bro. God ended up giving him a strategy and a leadership tactic to cultivate this plan. And like you gotta think about it, this plan that he cooped up, like it didn't come up overnight. You know what I'm saying? So like he ended up doing that jump. And it is crazy because it's like I study stocks and I study real estate and I study like boom and bust cycles. So like to see that story in the Bible and then see it like in real life, like in 2008, 99, 1620, 2010, like you get what I'm saying, 2020, like you get what I'm saying, like seeing it in those times, it's like, dang, bro, that jump happened all the way back then. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. Um, I got this quote. I gotta start putting the quote. I be putting them on some of, but on this one I don't. Um, God's math is always multiplication, and it's like it's so good because it's like it's true because it's like even from the parable that Jesus even talked about, like the dude flipped the two and the four, the five and the 10, and the one who buried the one, or pretty much didn't do nothing with the one, he ended up holding the bag. You know what I'm saying? So like when you have faith and when you constantly just putting in that work, putting in that effort, God will multiply. It might not multiply overnight, but it will multiply in weeks, months, years, decades, centuries. Like you know what I'm saying? Um, I love this quote from Charles Spurgeon. And it hits because I love him, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you that them sermons are from 1850 something, 1840s. It's like they're good sermons, so you can go look it up on like Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. But there's some of there are some of your graces that would have never been discovered if it was not for your trials. Man, I'm trying to tell you, if it wasn't for me getting fired, me going through through the stuff that I went through in life, like not being able to afford certain things, not being able to take care of my family financially and everything like that. Like those trials really made me go hard in my studies. Like made me really pretty much made me really get more focus on it. You know what I'm saying? So like having that focus and having that mentality, having like, all right, I'm about to man, I was only reading one book at a time. I think two books at a time. I was like, bro, I gotta get through these books, bro. Like, it's so many books I gotta get through, so much wisdom that I pray for, so much wisdom that I'm trying to gain. I gotta get through these books. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna listen to three, I'm gonna read three. That's six right there. Boom. Only read 20 minutes a day. Boom. Listen to some while I'm at work or on the way to work. Boom. Like every day, bro. Every day I'm going to work. Like I'm not really doing much when I'm at home, but except for reading. But every day I'm going to work, putting in that work. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I would have never did that if I wasn't trying to escape building a business or escape getting out of working or poverty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all wrap up right here. Probably within the next few minutes. I know I kind of chit chatted tonight. Um, but yeah, so like he ended up actually helping Egypt not get knocked off the map. Because honestly, if Egypt would have went through that 7 years of plenty, not implementing Joseph's plan, then they would not have been a successful country. Like, you get what I'm saying? After that 7 years, because like everybody came to them for that 7 years of famine. So like they ended up basically being like Hefe top boss. Like, you get what I'm saying? So um his family ended up rolling up on him. They didn't really recognize him throughout his, like, because they seen him at like 17. I want to 16, 17, 18. At this time when Joseph was running stuff in Egypt, he was like close to like 30, 31, 32. Don't quote me on that because I really don't know, but it's around that time frame. But yeah, so he ended up they didn't recognize him. They came to get some money. I mean, came to get some food. They was like, "Hey, we'll pay you uh to get some food." He ended up giving them the food but tricking them, um pretty much going trying to get everybody there. He wanted to truthfully unite his family, and that's why I love Joseph's story as well, because it's like he didn't hold his family hostage throughout that pain. You get what I'm saying? So like he ended up letting go, believe had just having faith in God. And they ended up working it out. He ended up revealing himself, and it it was a beautiful imagery if you read in between the lines. You get what I'm saying? Because like they probably felt so bad at that time, and like I don't think Joseph was trying to make them feel bad, but he had to tell his truth. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what really, really dove down into what made it so good. You know what I'm saying? So like they ended up forgiving all of the issues. Um, he ended up cultivating another relationship with his family, his father. All of the lost years were lost years, but he still ended up making something of his life and of his family. You get what I'm saying? He didn't just move on. He could have had just moved on and completely started over, which he kind of did, but like not on purpose. He dealt with his hands, where his cards were. But I love this quote. I want to say it's from Andy. Uh, Learn from your mistakes. Don't be swallowed up by them. And that really hit because like definitely becoming like a trader and an investment and like learning about business and everything. I had to blowing up 30K accounts and stuff like that, making 5K one day, losing 10K the next. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like mm, those mistakes killed me at the time, but looking back, I'm glad that they happened because if they didn't happen in that way, I wouldn't have that edge that I have now, like that hustle. You get what I'm saying? So, this is another quote from Andy. Happiness requires unhappy experiences. Learn from adversity, sacrifices, and suffering. And that hits because it's like is it basically is self-explanatory. Like um all of those unhappy moments that happen in my life, definitely having a family really shaped me for who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like some of those moments, like I was struggling financially or taking care of the family, but I was happy in the family. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta put in those type of perspectives, those type of moments that wouldn't happened during good things or not good trials, but good experiences. You get what I'm saying? And this quote from PD is one of the last quotes, and then I'm gonna finish off with a question. Um, well, I lied. Finish off with two more quotes. There's always a Joseph in the family that God would raise up to reverse the trend, and like that really hit because it's like that's where Joseph's story really resonated with me because like he was the dreamer, he was the innovator, he was the thinker, he was the strategic mastermind. You get what I'm saying? He ended up predicting boom and bust cycles. He ended up making a bag. He ended up taking care of his family and forgiving his family. You know what I'm saying? So like that broke the trend. compared to how he came up. And this one's from Myron. I definitely want to say this one's from Myron. You can't know the truth about anything until you see the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that's where, like, that's where Joseph's story really was fire at. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, if he would have stopped at the beginning or the middle, he wouldn't have seen the end. And now that he's seen the end, he sees that the beginning and the middle was necessary for the end. Because he, if his brothers didn't trade him to a slave or sell him as a slave, and like the dude ended up being in Egypt if he wasn't in Egypt at the time. Or um, I love how PD had put it. If Joseph had, or was it PD? It was either, I think it was Myron. If Joseph had left before Pharaoh called him for his dream, Joseph's dream would have happened. And when he said that, that just blew my mind because it's like, dang, like God really orchestrated his steps to get him in that position. Yes, it might have been a dark time, but he ended up orchestrating his steps to putting him in that position at that right time to build that legacy. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it really is really fire. Um, I'm gonna let y'all go. I know I kind of talked y'all head off today, but I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. And thank you for watching Billionaire Discipleship. We're building wealth, street wisdom, and serving Christ collides, but it doesn't divide. Take care, like, and subscribe.